Hello there, just wanted to do a quick video on, well, essentially this disaster of a game week for some, an absolute incredible, wonderful, delightful, ecstatic moment for others. FPL Harry, Luke Jones. For me, 125 minus 16, it's 109. I've done the maths just now on essentially how it all went for me. So essentially, if I had done nothing with my team whatsoever, I'd have got 121 points if I'd have just left my team as it was from game week 28. If I'd have done my minus 12, I'd have got 110 points. That's profit, that's the net. And then the minus 16, I got 109. The minus 16 that I did, I'm down by 5 points. Ward 0, Steele 10, Tarkowski 2, Luke Shaw 1. I mean, that was an absolute categorical disaster when I was listening to Mark Goldbridge and he says that, wait a minute, we got a substitution here, Molasses's coming on. Who's injured? Who's injured? And then I quickly looked at the chat and I saw everybody was saying Shaw, hamstring. I'm just like, the one fucking week he's probably going to get a clean sheet and he's going off in the 36th minute or whatever it was on 0 points. Just fucking tragic because he got a yellow card. Buemo 10 points, Tony 11. I'm still absolutely just speechless that Buemo came through with 2 assists across these 2 games. I predicted an assist, but to get 2 in that one game against Brighton, against Brighton, fucking unreal. So yeah, he got 10, Tony got 11. Odegaard 6, Ben Rama 5. Now, when I was watching this game last night between West Ham and Newcastle, I don't know if anybody watched it, but legitimately, the first opening 4 or 5 minutes, you could tell that Newcastle were up for it. They were up. West Ham were up for it. They were. Fucking hell! This cough is doing my fucking head in. They were pressing Newcastle. Like I said on my tweet that I had Twitter Tourette's last night. Not gonna lie. Ben Rama, Bowen, Antonio looked really lively up front. The problem is, though, very similar to Chelsea, is that they're just not good enough when it comes to shooting accuracy. Or more specifically, there's no one there to create for a decent striker. If they had a decent striker up top, it may be a slightly different story, but the problem is that all 3 of them seem to play in a very similar style. Like I said, very similar to Chelsea, where there's no one directly up front where the likes of João Felix or Havertz or Gallagher, Mudryk can create for somebody. It's just they're creating almost, it seems like, for themselves. But the problem is that you can't do too much solo in a team game. It's very, very, very difficult to explain, but what I was seeing from West Ham last night was 3 individuals that were just trying to create for themselves, and when they were trying to look up to find someone, there was no one there to get the ball to. I thought the standout players for West Ham were Declan Rice, and Declan Rice. Ben Rama, he reminds me a lot like Messi in the sense of he just clearly has extreme extremely good talent. He is an incredible technical player. But again, there's no one for him to create for. Bowen has got this drive. Another thing with Ben Rama, like Messi, is that you just watch him just standing around doing nothing. We've got no real intention of defending or anything like that whatsoever. I mean, ironically, he was the one that could have put a challenge in for the first goal against St Maximin when Wilson scored. But yeah, Ben Rama's just got this thing about him, I can tell, where he's just like, I don't need to do anything, just give me the ball and I'll do something with it, which he can do. But like I said, there's just no one there to create for. Bowen has got a lot of drive. He clearly likes wanting to really attack the opposition, in this specific case Newcastle, but again, the end product is just not there. Then Antonio, he's got the desire and the passion, but again, when it comes to an end product or, you know, trying to find a player, he just always seems to fuck it up. So, yeah, the fact that Newcastle won 5-1 is just ridiculous. I mean, every goal was just out of nothing. It was just like, oh, they scored. Oh, they scored. Oh, they scored. I mean, once I saw Ben Rama being taken off, I was just like, I'm turning this off now. Because the Man United game, by all accounts, according to Mark Goldbridge, that was just a low block by Brentford, and it was just break us down. And that's exactly what happened with the one, what seemed like the one attempt from Man United, and Rashford scored that one and only goal. Thank God. But yeah, that minus 16 brought me back 14 points, whereas if I just left my players as they were, it would have been 19 points. I haven't regretted it though. I think my team is set up a lot more better now. I've got rid of some absolute dog shite in the likes of Ward, Tarkowski, Buemo. Those three are gone and been replaced by upgrades in Steele, Shaw and Tony. Odegaard and Saka, yeah, I'm getting rid of 3 Arsenal players, or 2 Arsenal players in this case, for Ben Rama and Fernandes. Thankfully, Fernandes has got Everton up next, which has got 1 or 2-0 written all over it. Whereas Liverpool away for Arsenal, not the easiest of fixtures. I actually can see that potentially being quite a high scoring game. I'm marking that as a 3-2 either way. That's why I'm seeing that game, 3-2 either way. Also, another thing as well, if anybody was listening at all to my predictions the other day, or more specifically when it came to like the statistics, all that bollocks, Brentford involved in another match away from home where one of the two teams doesn't score. Because a lot of their games away from home end in Team A wins to 0 or Team B wins to 0. Obviously in the first game they drew 3-3, which again sticks to the meta. So essentially, if you are predicting Brentford to win away from home, always do it to 0, and if you're thinking that they're going to lose away from home, do it to 0, basically. But yeah, regarding like the mini leagues that I take seriously, essentially I've ended up going up in the members league to 30th, but every other league I've gone down in, and I'm now 3 points behind my battle with Blonde. I'm 3 points behind Blonde, but if Luke Shaw had stayed on the pitch to get his clean sheet, I would have at least be then bizarrely 3 points ahead of her. Behind Dread FPL, I'm, as it stands right now, 14 points behind Dread. Again, if Luke Shaw had just stayed on the pitch, it would have been 29. I'd have been 9 points behind Dread. The gap between me and Jason has closed down to 37 points, I think it is. So Jason's still got a very, very good lead. And yeah, the thing is, people have got to look at their hits and everything they took before this specific game. But the thing is, with the likes of Harbour Boy and stuff, not many people actually took that many hits. So actually, a lot of these teams that you're looking at are a net of X amount. You take I mean, what I will say is that congratulations to Harry, one of our Elite FPL members. He is just fucking things up at the moment. Proper fucking things up. 145 minus 12. But the players that he brought in all got him a profit. All of them got him a profit. I don't know the exact maths, but when you've got the likes of, if I go to his transfer page right now, Watkins, bloody hell, he did all his transfers across different days. So, okay, Martinelli got 6 points, wasn't it? Fernandez 4, Zinchenko 2, Shaw 1, Maddison 4, Saka 1. Something. I could do the maths here, Harry. Let's do the maths here, shall we? And did Martinelli get 6 points for that specific game, or did he get more? Did he get a bonus point in that match versus who I've completely forgotten about because I've completely scrolled past it? Leeds, of course it was. The answer is no, he didn't. So maybe Harry could be, now looking at this, maybe Harry is down on points. So Martinelli got 6. God, this is good entertainment, isn't it? +2, +1, +7. That's 16. And then 16 plays. Fernandez 4, Shaw 1, +4, plus Solanke got, fuck me, I don't even know how many points Solanke got. Was it 11 in the end? 11, yeah. Minus 12, he got 8. So actually, on the transfers, he's down. So Harry's actually down on his transfers by 8 points. However, 133 take home from this team here: Kepa, Chilwell, Trippier, Shaw, March, Matoma, Rashford, captain, Fernandez, Maddison, Tony, Watkins, and then on the bench boost he had Raya, Solanke, Botman, Henry. $867th in the world. 867 in the world. To put in perspective, there's a total players of 11,334,890. It is obscene what Harry is doing, and genuinely, I mean, he was asked a question on Planet FPL. James said, when do you think about winning this? And Harry was conservative for whatever reason, wasn't bullish about it, and just said, look, I don't look at winning, I just want to get as many points per week. But the way he's fucking going at the moment, I don't know the exact figures, how far he is off number one. 2026 he's on, so let's just quickly see. 2026, 2114. Welcome to the maths channel. 88 points off top spot. 88 points off top spot. I mean, in his mini leagues, like he's just number one in every single one, apart from ironically his own YouTube chat league, which is highly ironic. In the Chelsea league, he's 59th. It's just absolutely ludicrous. I can't imagine what it's like for Harry being in this situation. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does. Check his deadline out on Saturday. It'd be fascinating to see what he does. Will he be bringing back Haaland? I personally think, this is just my own view, obviously there's a lot of talk about, do we bring in Haaland or not? He's now back in training, he seems fine, etc, etc. But what about Bayern Munich? Oh God, what about Bayern Munich? I saw Dread FPL put up a little poll saying, do we captain Rashford or do we go with Haaland half an hour versus Southampton? I think anybody that doesn't own him, I think that you've got to just look at the team that you've got and say, I can get through this game week without having to bring in Haaland. So in Harry's case, this 3-5-2 that he's got up at the moment, he could easily play this again. And with Newcastle away at Brentford, I mean, the likelihood of there being a clean sheet in that is probably quite high for Newcastle, I would say. But certainly Kepa in goal, away at Wolves, Chilwell away, Trippier you can't bench. If he can't play Shaw, if Shaw's not available, he can easily go double Newcastle or just play Henry. And then he's got the 5 in the middle of March, Matoma, Rashford, Fernandes, Maddison, and then Tony and Watkins up top. Or he just goes, fuck it, just bring in Haaland for Solanke and done. Maybe not necessarily captain him, but again, Harry should be telling me more than anything. But certainly Harry here could easily play a 3-4-3 with Haaland back in the team and drop, for argument's sake, March away at Tottenham. For argument's sake. So, yeah, the fact that because the thing that we're all like this, I'm like it, you'll like it, everyone's like it, it's this double guessing. It's, yeah, but 75% own Haaland. What? But I don't think he'll play against Southampton. But also I think he'll come on and score a hat-trick. But also I think this. Also I think that. Yeah, he's owned by 72% of the game. And then you've got that line, and you can imagine people that don't even play the game and they've got Haaland automatic captain, he's still going to come on off the bench and still do X, Y and Z. I literally had to come off Twitter this morning. As you know, I've told this before, obviously they've got two options now. You've got For You and now Following. I'm usually on the For You section, but I tried, because I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but when you go on Twitter and you click on the following, for some reason it just then takes you back to the For You when you come back on, in this case, my phone. Or if I'm loading up on my laptop now, it automatically is on For You. Then when you come out of Twitter, and then when you go on the following section, and you come out of Twitter, you go back to For You again. So all I'm seeing on the For You section is just the usual thing of 120 points, -5, gone, got a green arrow up to 600,000, got a green arrow up to 10,000, hello, I'm back in the 5,000k spot, and so on and so forth. I get it. But I just had to come off it. And then another thing that I just had to come off was just seeing all this Haaland chat and just this, yeah, but he may not play. Yeah, but he will play. I don't think he plays against Bayern Munich. I think he does play against Bayern Munich. I think he plays against Leicester. I don't think he plays against Leicester. Just everybody has plans in place. everybody has plans in place, and if you've got a plan to bring back Haaland in, just bring him back. Man City, it's Southampton away. Well, I can see Man City absolutely annihilating Southampton there, scoring a minimum of 3. I'd probably go 3 or 4-0 in that game. Then they got Bayern Munich at home, which is obviously a very, very important game. Then it's Leicester at home, which again I can see being an absolute demolition. 3-4 goals. Then Bayern Munich away, and then it's the FA Cup. Now, if you don't want to go with Haaland, that's fine. It really doesn't matter whether you go with him or not. But I personally just think, fuck it, just get him in. The only upside to not bringing in Haaland is that most will have then 2 free transfers for game week 31. By which point you've got some information about Haaland in this case. I'm sick to death of seeing that name now, Haaland. But yeah, I'm just looking at the predictions that we did the other day, and I'm going to go with the double game week teams to how many goals to score. So I went Liverpool to score 3, they scored 1. So history suggested 2, the form suggested 1. Leeds, I predicted them to score 2 goals across the 3 games. They scored 3. History said 2, the form said 2, so near enough right. Bournemouth, I predicted 2, correct. History predicted 3, form predicted 3. Brighton, I predicted 4 goals, they got 5. History said 1, form said 2, so I beat that there. Brentford, I predicted 3, correct. History predicted 3, form predicted 3. Leicester, I went with 2 goals, which is, I believe, how many goals they did get. History suggested 5, and I did question that because it all came down to the 4. They on 2 occasions they've scored 4 past Aston Villa, and the form said 1. Chelsea, I predicted 3. I think they got 1, didn't they? No, they got nothing across those 2 fixtures. Jesus Christ. The form went with 1, and the history said 3. Aston Villa, I predicted 3. They got 4. The history went 2. The form said 3. So me and the form are there or thereabouts, bang on. I mean, the Newcastle, no one predicted this, but Newcastle 2-2-2. And then Man United, I predicted 3, which is... Just scroll past the damn thing, would you believe? I predicted 3, they got 1. The history predicted 6, and the form said 3 as well. But the fact they didn't score against Newcastle and only got 1 against Brentford, not great. From a captaincy perspective, Rashford, Fernandes, Salah, I looked at. Salah getting the 7 points. Rashford got across the 2 fixtures. What was it? I'm all on different screens here. He got 12, and Fernandes obviously got the 4 points. Obviously, I'm extremely grateful that Rashford actually eventually came through. The other leagues that are part of the YouTube community, we've got in the YouTube chat league, it was very tight as we saw last night, and now it's still extremely tight. We've got Matthew Zaishi that's top, 1948 points. Then this is when it just gets ridiculous. Jovan, 1934. Let me just bring this league up on screen. This is the YouTube chat league. So Go on. Yeah, so there is there. Matthew Zaishi top, then you got Jovan, 1934, Seb Long, 1934, Michael Swedin, 1926, No Weak Foot, 1926, Ayush, 1921, Jordan, 1920, John Harris, 1918, Brendan Saunders, 1910. Fuck me, there's an actual gap. And David Foster, 1908. That's the top 10 there. Jordan coming through with 141 points minus 8. That's massive. And those transfers were Saka 1 point versus Fernandez 4, Ward 0 for Keppers 8, Shaw 1 for Tarkowski 2. I mean, again, another player that's doing exceptionally well, and he's down on his wait a minute, 4, 8, that's 12, 13 versus 13 minus 8, that's 5 versus 3, so he's up by, Jordan is up by 2 points. 2 points on his transfers, for fuck's sake. And it's that Shaw that's fucked him over. They would have been the perfect transfers if Shaw had just stayed on the pitch. Like we know, he didn't. Yeah, an absolute stormer this specific game week. But people like Jordan are set up perfectly without need. There are certain teams like Jordan's that technically don't need to be doing anything regarding transfers this week because their teams are just set up perfectly. So I'll just show you Jordan's team here for a split second here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. You know, we can easily play Kepa in goal. Trippier. He's got Estepinian away at Tottenham. Don't bother with him. So Chilwell, Shaw if he's fit. And if he's not going to play Shaw, he can easily play Ben White. And then he's got Rashford. He can easily play Odegaard, Rashford, Matoma, Fernandez. And then as a midfield 4. And then he's got Tony Watkins, Kane up front. So Jordan goes into game week 31 with 2 free transfers. That's just a simple example of a team who's doing exceptionally well this season. And, you know, like I say, with the likes of Matthew Zaishi, who 136 points. That's take home. 136 points take home. And these people are just absolutely storming it. So here is Matthew Zaishi's team up here. And yeah, these guys are doing. It's just Shaw, isn't it? It's just Shaw that's kind of like. But his bench of Raya, Saka, Henry, and Botman. So nearly as bad as mine, to be honest with you. I think I got 19 points on my bench, he got 21. Yeah, my bench boost was a fucking disaster. Well, I say that if it wasn't for Steele coming through, and if Havertz had just fucking come through, just one attack in return, but the fact they didn't score just says it all. Then obviously in the Rivals League, Luke Jones, 104. Fuck me. Nasu, 165 points. -4, 161. Game week rank of 38. What the fuck? Look at this. Jesus fucking Christ. That's ludicrous, Nasu. Well done. 38th game week rank. 38. As you can see there. Wow. That's ludicrous. Steele, Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Chilwell, James, Rashford, Salah, Matoma, McAllister, Solanke, Kepa, Watkins, Tony, Fernandes. Who was his one transfer that he did for a -4? Fucking hell. No, he did 3 transfers for a -4. Fernandes 4 versus Saka 1. And then it's Ward-Prowse out for Salah and Kane out for Solanke. I mean, you've just touched gold there, and there's proof in the pudding when you've got a game week rank of 30. There's the clickbait title. That is fucking mental. You really have touched. You should have done the lottery this week, Nasu. 34,000th in the world, and he is now 6 points behind Luke Jones. And then there we are, Matthew Zaishi, Capkin FPL, Joe Nicholson, Matthias, Jovan, Vince Chapman, Marius, and then Solensai dropping down. Bloody hell, there's some big scores in the Rivals League. Again, this is not taking hits into account, but 140, 165, 136, 138, 130, 125, 141, 141, 151 from Matthias there. He only took a -4 as well. Fucking disgusting. Congratulations, that they are ridiculous fucking scores. But yeah, Luke Jones still tops the mini league. He actually captained Chilwell. He did a -8, so 132 points. Liza Castagna coming through, Shaw coming through. But yeah, the Chilwell captaincy. I'm stating the fucking obvious. I think he's kind of. I don't know if he'll have regretted it, because Chilwell looked really good against Aston Villa, but came through with 0 points, ironically. But obviously getting a clean sheet, and what was it, 2 or 3 bonus points against Liverpool? Yeah, 3 bonus points against Liverpool. We'll be biting your hand off. But yeah, we then move on, obviously, to this upcoming game week where, like I said, it's going to be more fascinating to see who I think most people are going to not worry about Haaland. That's what I think. I think most people aren't going to give a shit about him. But, you know, if anybody was to bring Haaland in, I don't think there's any issue with it whatsoever. And, you know, we've got 6 games, which is good, that I'll be covering. So 6 games I'll be covering on Saturday. We all kick off with Man United. I'll just go through some quick score predictions. I'm predicting 2-0 against Everton, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest. 2-1. Aston Villa at home aren't that great, so Nottingham Forest may actually nick some, but they're so bad away from home. I'll go with 2-1, 2-0. Brentford, Newcastle. 1-1. Fulham, West Ham. Fulham to win that. Leicester, Bournemouth. Leicester to win that. Spurs, Brighton. I have a sneaky suspicion that Brighton could do something there. Could be like a 3-2 type of game. Wolves, Chelsea. 0-0, 1-0 either way. Southampton, Man City. 3-4 goals to Man City. Leeds, Crystal Palace. Leeds to, I reckon, like a 1-1. And then Liverpool, Arsenal. I think it's going to be a high scoring 3-2 either way as well. So, yeah, some decent fixtures that could potentially be getting us some points. But it's all about whether we all think Haaland is worth bringing in. Like I say, I think he is, but hey, what the fuck do I know? Just, like I say, go see what Harry's doing on the deadline stream. Cheers all, as ever. Thanks for supporting the show, and we'll catch you soon.